Hello there, RagingRaptor here, and I welcome you to a new video. Today we have a look at the KAMPFPANZER 50, the tier 9 reward tank for the ranked battles game mode. And if you're watching my video, although Wikibay already did his, I thank you very much for that. I didn't have time yesterday because of my finals. I had 3 finals in the last 2 days, so yeah, it was a little bit of a stressful time. Anyway, today now in this video, we are going to have a look at this bad boy over here. If you want to know what exactly happened or what is exactly going to happen to the other game mode, to the frontline game mode, I leave you a link to the video as well in the icon, and well, you can watch it there. I'm actually a little bit confused. This tank kind of looks like different than what we have here. It might just be the shadows. Yeah, it's just the shadows. It looks like here it looks like we have a very distinct pike nose with the parts of the track wheel over here, while here, yeah, it's just the shadows. You can still see the pike nose. It's still prominent. Yeah, it looked like a little bit different over here. My bad. Anyway, this tank is the tier 9 German KAMPFPANZER 50, and apparently this is like a predecessor or was a planned project to the KAMPFPANZER 70. And if you remember correctly, it is the KAMPFPANZER 70 was the joint project of the German and the Americans to do a main battle tank, which had, I think, a 152 gun launcher. Anyway, cool thing is that if Wargaming is planning on introducing the KAMPFPANZER 50, we might have the chance to see the KAMPFPANZER 70 in the game as well, as it is in World of Tanks Blitz. Anyway, let's have a look at what Wargaming wants us to tell about this tank. Today we are starting the super test for the vehicle a lot of you have been waiting for a long time. Well, I guess that we are waiting for it a long time because it's the main ranked battles game mode reward, not because it's KAMPFPANZER 50, because I never heard of it. This tier 9 German medium tank carries a 105mm Rheinmetall V1 gun. Among the strong sides of the latter are accuracy, the dispersion is 0.33 per 100 meters, armor penetration 268 with APCR and 310 with heat rounds, an aim time of 2 seconds, which is lightning quick, and a view range of 400 meters. The gun's single shot damage is 320 points, and it may seem not much at first sight, yet good stabilization, a barrel depression of -8 degrees, and high armor penetration make the 50t an efficient fighter at any distance, able to damage every opponent. The KAMPFPANZER 50t also has decent survivability. It possesses 1750 hit points, a 120mm thick upper glacis plate sloped at an impressive angle, and bears up to 250mm of armor on the front of its turret. Still, there is a couple of weak spots, namely the gunner's side and the machine gun cupola at the rear. Also, the side armor is pretty thin, just 40mm, meaning that every Russian gun or everything above 120mm of caliber have overmatch on it. So angling this tank's hull is not recommended. Less armor means more mobility. The KAMPFPANZER 50t can boast a top speed of 60 kph and a specific power of 18 horsepower per ton. This German can reach a key position on a map fast, provide first fire support for an attack from there, and then return to the base just in time to defend it if needed. A nice feature of this tank is its status as an event vehicle. You may place any suitable crew in it without the need to retrain. If you don't know what this means, it's basically a premium tank with the premium tanks feature, except for the credit gain and I think repair costs. But you can put whatever medium tank crew of the German in there and they all will be fine. It's like the T55A. The KAMPFPANZER 50t is a medium heavy tank hybrid combining the best of both worlds and paying very little for that. Good mobility, a gun allowing for comfortable play on armor, which is exquisite for a medium. There are the strong sides of this German newcomer. Still, the strong sides of the 50t are not the stats, it's you, the veteran player hardened by the ranked battles. Well, yes, you have to harden because of all that flame and all that gold spam. Jokes aside, yes, this is the 50 KAMPFPANZER 50. They already talked about the weak spots, and I think definitely this will be the weak spot one over here, this one. And as already pointed out, this cupola on the back. Other than that, I think the tank doesn't really pose any weak spots from the turret front. Sadly, they don't really sight the front of the tank, but we can see it kind of looks like a 110 hull or a IS-3 hull, just more sharply angled. This will make playing it a tiny touch, I think I actually want to say harder, because compared to a T54 or an E50, you can basically, you can just drive out in an angle and they shoot at your upper plate and a pew, bounce off. But because it is angled towards them, because it's this pike nose, the shots have an easier time penetrating. That's why, for example, side scraping with an IS-7 is not that recommended because of the pike nose. However, this tank will be a lot more bouncy when you just put your front straight forward. Depends also how thick the lower plate is. And yeah, my guess would be, I heard a lot of people comparing this tank to the, what's it called, to the T54. And I think it is acceptable. I, however, would like to compare it to the E50 because, well, they're both Germans, and yes, that's basically it. Plus, both tanks have armor, so why the hell not? It sounds like a very good idea by RagingRaptor Kappa. Anyway, it has 1,750 hit points, which is exactly the same as what the E50 has, which is cool, I guess. It's totally, it's workable. The armor, again, we don't really know a lot about the armor, but it's definitely worse than what we have on the E50. The E50, we should not forget, it still has the 150mm upper front plate, quite decently angled lower plate with 100mm and 80mm of side armor, double than what the KAMPFPANZER 50t will have. The turret, however, will most likely be a lot stronger on the KAMPFPANZER 50 than it is on the E50. Because, as you can see, the E50 just has this flat plate, and that's it. There's nothing else to it. Here we have roundings and so on and so forth, but it has to be noted that, again, the KAMPFPANZER 50 poses this as a weak spot, and apparently this cupola, maybe even this cupola over there. So it has weak spot, but it will be harder, in my opinion, to hit than what we have on the E50 turret. But then again, what we have to pay for on the side armor is not really that cool, plus most likely the lower plate of the KAMPFPANZER will be worse. But I can't really go too in depth right here, to be honest. It's because we really have only a small amount of pictures, and you can see the model is still not finished. So yeah. Anyway, the engine power is 900 horsepower, which is exactly the same as the E50 has, just it is a lot faster because it has a much better HP to ton ratio than the E50. The E50 has 14.38. The KAMPFPANZER has 18, which is very, very good. It's really good. It's very good. Yes, yes. And it's comparable to what we have with the E50M. Just the E50M is a tiny touch better still. So this tank could wreck face when it goes to ramming. That is cool, I guess. No, it's actually really cool, but it also depends how thick the lower plate will be. Don't forget to hydrate, my dear friends and followers. 38 degrees of hull traverse speed is definitely better than what we have on the E50 by 5 degrees or 4.63 degrees. And the turret traverse is 45 degrees, which is also around 4 degrees better. The fuel range, exactly the same with 400 meters, which is an excellent value, and I love to play with this because you can play with a good crew, tank gun rammer, and vertical stabilizer, and then you have a snapshotting machine. Top speed, as already said, awesome, 60 kph forward, 20 kph backwards, so very good. The armor penetration is magnificent, and it's one of the best on tier 9. Obviously, it is being bested by the new Leopard PTA, which got just recently buffed. But other than that, I don't think that most tanks can compete with it, except for the Standard B. The Urus can't, and the A. Those three tanks, I think, they can only compare or compete. No, the AMX doesn't. And the Centurion Mark 7-1. Just the Centurion Mark 7-1, yes, it has a thicker gun, but sadly this thicker gun, well, yes, it has hash as premium rounds, and this tank deals less damage than an average 105mm gun. This tank, as already pointed out, does only 320 alpha, which is quite little, but it's not too bad. Well, in the end, the T54, T55A also works, so yeah. And compared to those two tanks, the gun penetration is so much better, except for the premium rounds. Premium rounds are worse by 20mm, but that's a tiny difference in my opinion. It's a difference. It's not that tiny, but it's basically you have like, what the hell? You have 67mm more standard penetration. That's awesome. Like, and here you have what more? 50, 57. Like this is a big deal. So I would take the KAMPFPANZER 50t's gun over T55s, T54s every day, to be honest. However, it looks like this tank gun kind of pays for it with a bad DPM. T55A has 7.3 seconds reload time. This one has 8.7. So more than 1.4 seconds more. 1.3 seconds more. This tank has, with the worst penetration gun, has 7.1 seconds, and with the decent penetration gun, 8.15. So this tank will sadly do not boost a good DPM. We can make some tiny adjustments, or try to compare it, or try to calculate it rather. And well, we know 60 seconds divided by 8.7 seconds gives us a rate of fire of 6.89 shots times the 320 gives us a DPM of 2200. That is not impressive. That is, I think, class worst, if I am not entirely mistaken. Okay, Centurion is close to be as bad. Leopard PTA got above in a DPM. Yeah, it's better. What has the youuuu has a pretty bad DPM, 2.3. Yeah, it looks bad. I don't want to take the Skoda T50 in the standard B or any other autoloader. Patton? No, the Patton has good DPM, right? Yeah, this could be DPM. That's underwhelming. That's really underwhelming. It has the worst class DPM from at least my calculations right here. Obviously, crews are not included, or right, brothers in arms and so on and so forth. But this is a bad DPM. Like, gosh. You have to make those shots count, and 0.33 accuracy is not that good compared to, like, so let's like this. I rather have a gun like the T54, which I don't know has 0.37 accuracy but a lot better DPM, than having such a seemingly more accurate gun with much less DPM. So yeah. The DPM makes this tank probably balanced. I don't know. It also really depends how the armor model looks like and the tank feels in general. It will be something very unique, and I really look forward to getting this tank. I was able to get up to the first division. I didn't finish ranked this season or this episode. And as far as I know, you need in total 10 rank tokens for that. So if you got the first episode 2, you can still do it. If you got less than 2, it looks like you don't have a chance. Except Wargaming is going to shuffle around a little bit, because then they are understanding that ranked battles is absolute trash and it's not fun to play. As it's Frontline, but at least in Frontline you can make money. And yeah, even if you lose, it's not that big of a deal. Yeah. Anyway, 2 seconds aim time. That's, I think, one of the best in class. Yeah, it's compared to the E50s. It sadly doesn't boast good HE penetration, or like an enhanced HE penetration. Like, Wargaming, please. Come on, guys. If it has so trash DPM, give it HEP. Give it hash as premium rounds, as HE rounds. Like 105mm of HE penetration. So you can really give good players the ability to use special HE rounds, which can be good. Like, that would be awesome. This would boost its DPM significantly, and a good use could lead tons of good DPM. That would be a really good idea, I think. However, it could also make this tank overpowered. But I think just from seeing that it has the weak spot, that it has a comparable armor layout to something like the E50, I think it is balanced. Like, it doesn't really feel too balanced. It's something unique. It looks cool, in my opinion, but it doesn't look like overpowered shit nuggets like an Object 430U or for Object 430. or something like the what's it, Object 279 or Chieftain T95 or 907. It looks balanced and it looks cool. I still think this is for very skilled players, or let's say like this, not for very skilled players, but for for players which have a lot of time at their hand or at their disposal to play ranked. Why not introduce HEP as HE? That would be amazing, because it could promote good thinking and well-timed shots, or well-timed ideas. But then again, this is super test. A lot of things can change. Anyway, I think I'm done for now. Another long video because RagingRaptor still loves to talk, and it's obviously a great thing for me. If you didn't see already what is going to happen for the front line, feel free to check out my AE Phase 1 video for the American reward tank. And other than that, yes, again, I'm sorry that the lack of videos. It also screwed me over myself because of YouTube algorithms, but oh well. Yes, finals was more important than videos. And yeah, I should be back on track as to have 3 more exams in the next 2 weeks. And have a lot of time for them to prepare for. So it's a lot better. So I have, again, a little bit of time on the evenings. Plus, there is no more frontline. Hooray. So I can focus on that. Maybe a little bit of, what is it called? Clan Wars, maybe? I don't know. There's nothing really, anything I want to get from there, except for maybe female crew members. But that's about it. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like if you liked the video. If you dislike it, let me know what I can do better, obviously. And yeah, feel free to subscribe for your latest, well, almost latest news, well, latest late news for World of Tanks. Again, it gets better now. 2 more weeks and then have finally holidays, and then it's all you guys, all streaming, all videos, all guides till Gamescom. That's it.